What's up, family? Peace, 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 peace. I hope everybody is having a powerful and a pleasant day today. I know I'm having a good day myself. What's happening with your family? So I've been hold on, let me make sure I got everything straight on my other platforms. But yes, I wanted to go live and I wanted to talk to, the future generation, really a lot on this. That's what I've been thinking about a lot. I think I've spent a lot of time, in my time and in my years, really trying to reach people my age and elder. And I think that what I've done was, I haven't properly contested and spoken to the younger generation, right? And that's where I'm at right now. I've given a lot of game over the years, right? As far as, knowledge of self, knowledge of the past, knowledge of the present, knowledge of the future. That's what I've done this whole entire time, right? I've built myself up um, to, be 19 keys, a representative of truth, right? A representative of enlightenment and a representative of knowledge, you know. But I've feel like I speak on deaf ears. Shout out to Aristotle, fellow light bringer. I feel like sometimes I speak to deaf ears when I'm speaking to my generation. You know, my generation. I'm speaking of people that are going 30 and up. Right, I'm 32, headed to Christ year. I'll be Christ in a second. So I'm looking forward to that. And as I say, 32 years young, as I say my age, I actually get rejuvenated because I'm so happy I've made it to where I am today. I was talking with one of my brothers and he said, well, you grew up special. I say, I made my circumstances special, but I can't say that I grew up particularly special, right? Because if everybody can make their circumstances special, which means that I just happen to have one of those minds where I'm blessed to always, you know, figure out a deeper meaning in all things. I'm always asking why. And I was taught that God is in the why, right? That's when you're trying to figure out and understand God's plans. Why do we go through certain things? Why do we do this? Right. And I've been smart enough to understand that why and to apply meaning because I think sometimes we think that that answer is supposed to pop out of nowhere. And as I was thinking today, I said, I was having a conversation. I'm like, do you know why you living? Right? Like, do you know why you living? That became one of the questions. Do you know why you alive? And there's some people that they live for, their children, right? And that gives them a sense of purpose, but that's not purpose, it's not real life. I feel like that's the absence of purpose, um, living for something outside of self, it has to be bigger because, you put your children at a disadvantage when you do that, number one, because you can suffocate them from not having your own vision, your own mission, your own purpose. And so you can put that pressure on them instead of you live your life and allow them to be astonished by your accomplishments and your execution and to be inspired by your presence, right? Be an example. But to live for your children is not a real purpose. It's not, right? It is trying to fill a void from a lack of purpose. That's my belief on that. So you have to be careful when we say things like that and when we're really making excuses for our lack of understanding and figuring out life, right? And I know that there's a lot of young people, when I was, in my teens, I just, remember uh, everybody around me projects, right, what they want for me, right? Um, and it's not enough developing the mind of that child so that they can figure out what they want for themselves and then cultivate an environment so that they can be successful at what they choose, you know? And the cycle continues to happen, right? And now this generation of parents, they're so much younger, but less wise, but has more, access. This generation is not as wise as they think they are. They just have access to information. They're very informed, right? So they can be informative, but they're not real thinkers. And that's a very dangerous, dangerous place to be at because most people don't know how to think for themselves, you know? Like that's what I find. And so I'm not sure how it's really going in your household, but the way I'm seeing the youth looking at it is like saying that, you know, you can't really advise these children because they have options that you may not understand. I was looking at some of the streamers today and they on streams doing stuff for money. Parents know nothing about. Children are being raised by streamers and influencers and TikTokers and Google and AI and so when you see this generation of where they at, it's like, their influence is way different than ours. First, you might have one little bad kid in the neighborhood trying to get you to do something. Now you got whole industries, whole industries, grown and young people, right? Constantly bombarding your mind with thoughts and ideas. You dig? Like the peer pressure is at its highest level that has ever been in reality, right? And it's as dangerous as hell. I don't know if you all realize this, but this is very dangerous. So I wanted to talk to, you know, people that I feel like live young and think young because, this generation is definitely not really being, I believe, tended to. The expectations of young men today cannot be the same expectations of men generations before them. So we have what we wish the reality was, and we try to train them for the world that we wish they were living in, but that's not the world that they have. We talk to them about relationships and dating based on what we learned and what we wish for them, but that's not the world they live in. We tried to talk to them about spirituality and job skills and college and education for the world that we wish that they was in, but that's not where we at. you know what's going to be required for them is completely different than what was required for you to be successful. But I'll tell you something that remains the same: a strong mind in any era can handle whatever. A strong mind, a developing a true thinker in any era can handle whatever. I promise you this. This is at the thesis of a primary focus. If you want to develop your mind to become a young man or young woman, it's about developing how to think for yourself. And this is more important, and this is now a super mind skill today. Because thinking for yourself is not easy. You know, I remember I find myself in the head of my cell phone, and I'm like, yo, people think that these children in the next generation won't be stuck on virtual reality, and they won't participate in transhumanism, meaning that they won't connect themselves to machines and be part machine and put chips in themselves, and they will. You know why? Because we already doing it. If you got your head, go look at your time that you spend on the phone. You already in a virtual reality. The only difference is they taking that phone and they putting it over your eyes. Right? If we look at the way that we warp our bodies, right? I was looking at some studies on testosterone earlier and steroid use. Like there's steroid use where young little girls are taking these legal steroids now, because they no longer want to go through process. She said, I don't want to wait. She said, I don't want to go through the process. She says, I want to be there now. And you got to listen to the youth, because it's really learning the mindset. Like they want everything fast and now. So what's going to happen is the corporations are going to adapt to the youth. So they're going to sell the youth what they want after they study them based on their mindset. So you got young boys and young girls taking steroids because they don't want to wait to get the body that they see their TikTok influencer on, right? Or YouTube influencer on. They don't want to wait. They don't want to go in the gym, 2 years and 3 years and have to get it. They want that next week. They want that next month. So they take the steroids, they go work out, and they start to get instant results. So it's different, right? And that's at a sacrifice and the detriment to their health. So, healthcare in the future gonna be looking a little different because these children are gonna have bigger issues at younger ages, right? But that just speaks towards the mindset of instant gratification. You got 90, 80% of the industry of what you see on TV where, they working out. Most of them are on steroid use. Being natural is no longer, celebrated. Moneypreneur, if you want to come up and talk, I would love for you because I'm not saying what's wrong with it, but I'll give you a breakdown. I really want to learn from you all today. I'm just giving you my observations, right? These are my observations. And, there can be many things wrong with it. It depends on, because as I was listening to one doctor, he said that there's way to, when he say that for any good miracle drug to work and to be very efficient, it has to have side effects, right? So anything microwavable has side effects, right? When we want fast food, it comes with side effects, right? We want fast beauty. If you go look at the AI filters on TikTok, it's creating a facial dysphoria to where, women cannot even appreciate. We in Women's History Month, but women can't appreciate their natural beauty because TikTok is telling them that they should look differently. TikTok is putting a filter and they have to use that filter. And it's very hard to go back and look at your face in comparison to be like, damn, I was beautiful for a day. Like people looked at me different. I felt different. It gave them a false sense of confidence, so it's artificial beauty, you know, it's artificial beauty. And I feel for you, like, if like eventually they go do that to bodies, right? Where you look in the mirror and you can see what yourself would look like with a six pack, and a build and big shoulders and arms, and that's not just going to drive people to the gym to commit to a natural process. They're going to drive to the gym to do steroid use. So then you have those people that they want to be beautiful and look beautiful. And they're told that, well, you need to puff up your lips a little more. Why? She's already bad. I'm not sure, like this augmentation of the face, I'm not sure who is attracting particularly because, the way I grew up, we like the way a woman look naturally. That's, a natural attraction for a man. So now what I learned though is women not doing it for men. The ego says, yes, you are, but no, they're doing it for other women. This new beauty industry is for the gaze of women. They're doing these makeup tutorials, the lashes, all of this stuff, the lips. They're not doing it for men because men are not attracted to those things. We never said we like those things and we don't care about them. So what I've learned is all for the gaze of other women. This is part of this new movement that's going on. So as I'm looking at this, man, and if this was my TED talk, this is probably partially how it would go with some clickers and some statistics and numbers, but this is just off the head, And as I'm looking at this, I'm like, damn, so that's why women are no longer presenting themselves for the male gaze. They're no longer building themselves up to be with men. And so a lot of men don't like the women they see because these women are no longer, even the women that do it for the male gaze, those women are considered to be what they call pick-me's now, right? So if a woman, shows up and presents herself and she thinks in a manner of which men are attracted to out loud, then other women then now attack her. So it's tough. So I just think like, damn, man, what's this future generation gonna have to deal with? Because it's consistently getting, you can call it worse or better or different, or whatever it is mutating, and it's not going to its highest level. If you think about the evolution of human beings and as we present ourselves to go to our highest level of potential, this is not what the highest level looks like. This looks like when you got somebody who's very beautiful, and let's say that they're going to get surgery, That's a mutilation of the highest level. When you go to one point and then you keep trying to make changes, you know, that's an insecurity, never thinking things are good enough. So when things are perfect, you can't leave good enough alone. So your insecurity says, no, I need to add more. I need to improve more. It's not ready yet. That's the insecurity of this generation who can never be confident in what they have. They will always think that they know they always need something more to add on. Couple more dollars. I need more money. I need another car. I need a new purse. I need a new facelift, a new butt lift. You need new lips, right? You need steroids. You need this, that, and the third. This works very well if you are in the business of marketing, right? Because all you have to do is prey upon insecurities. This works extremely well for marketing because preying upon insecurities is a very great business model, right? Because people will buy to try to fill the holes and the gaps in themselves, right? That's what people have done and will do. So now we at this point where nobody is even happy being themselves or being by themselves. People think being themselves is not enough. People think being by themselves is not enough. Being by yourself does not mean you alone. You can be, I heard Iyanla Vanzant said, it's not selfish, it's being self-full. And it's not being full of yourself, you're being self-full. I'm fulfilled by the presence of my own spirit. I can be home alone and still feel myself. So therefore, I never feel alone because alone is like a lack. If you believe in God, then God should be in that presence. You should feel God around. It should make you feel safe and warm. You know, and I'm gonna say something. I want y'all to feel this one. Some people are too rare to be understood. That's not a bad thing. I particularly don't think that I've ever been truly understood by one person on this planet. To really understand who I am, what I have to do to build where I am. It takes me 10 times more to do it than how my peers would do it because I speak truth and I speak on all the topics that I feel like I'm concerned about, and I'm a creative and I want to do all these different things. And the corpus is like, wait a minute, what's his qualification? How you do this? And I still make it happen. We reach 24 million views on YouTube, and they said, wait a minute, that's not going to work, and we still make it happen. We're not doing. There's no role pay for it for accepting my type of character. We built out everything to be appreciated so that we can have success. That's completely different, right? So when you have a generation who is different, the world is not customizing platforms. Thank you. The world is not customizing platforms, for their success. And any of you all that may want to follow in my footsteps and what I do, you have to realize that it's going to require you to take the hardest path. Now, I'm paving a way, right? So it may be a little easier in the future, but everything that I've done has not been accepted when I started it. I had to wait to be appreciated each time. So if you're rare, you can't have both. You can't expect to be rare and understood. If you are a phenomenon, phenomenons are not often understood. Maybe years later, scientists and studies come out and more research, and then we like, oh, this is what was happening. But if you're rare, do not expect to be understood. I just want you all to understand that. Like if you consider yourself like, man, I feel like I'm never understood. It should not make you feel alone or lost. You're different. You're rare, right? And you have to remember that in a world of assimilation, in a world where everybody is being rewarded for being like everybody else, right? It can make you lose yourself because if you're getting rewarded for being like everybody else, you're essentially being punished for being original. So now when you do the thing to get rewarded, you do the thing to get the job, you do the thing to get in the room, you do the thing to get the likes, you do the thing to get the friends, so calledly, it goes against self. So now you stepping against your own integrity, right? And when you do that, you punishing yourself as well because you go home with those thoughts, not feeling like yourself. And so the things that you gain from being a plagiarized version of the world, right? You won't live to appreciate them because you're not going to truly feel like you deserve it because you have to be somebody else to get it. So partly of my advice to the youth, you know, is to learn yourself what you may be rewarded for, right? By the world may not be the same thing you'll be rewarded for by God. You know, so you have to be careful when you're getting congratulations for plagiarism, right? Because it can create a addiction to the stimulation, right? That comes along with the plagiarism, and in that whole time you lose yourself. And I want to pivot a little bit to thinking, right? And then I'm going to open it up for some Q&A and take some questions. You know, they said I can't receive questions with badges on. How do I turn badges off there? That's silly. I would have to leave just to turn the badges off. I don't know who made up that rule. Oh, there we go. So now I think I can take it. I don't need no money. Turned it off. Let's see. All right, they're not letting me do this, y'all. Boom. All right, let me bring someone in. Let's see. I thought I could take questions or show the questions rather. And I was going to do a thing, which I'm still doing. You go to High Level Media LLC. If you are 19 and younger and you have a podcast and a show, I'm going to do 10 podcasts. No, I'm going to do 19 podcasts for free. Right. So I'll do your show. It has to be a professional one. It has to be up to standard. Because I don't want to help you build crap. I want to help you build something that I think is worthy. So if it goes through our standards and we like it, I'll get on your platform. So, you know, younger you are, the better. I want young people. For a lot of you all that creating content, I think, the unfortunate reality is there's a lot of people with a lot of tools. And a lot of you all don't know how to do outreach, networking, right? You don't really know how to build up something luxury. And this is my advice to you. Focus on building something at a luxury standard, right? We're not like our generation don't have excuses because we have tools, right? And those tools means we have access, right? So when I said young is everybody is young, and I feel like you're young until you die. But being young, youthful, and being young, is more so about a spirit and a feeling, right? Once you become old, you become, you get to the point where you're no longer learning. As long as you're learning, you're young. I would say that, right? Your body, as long as you're learning, you're young. As long as you're training, you're young, right? As long as you're constantly experiencing and exposing yourself to new things, that's young, right? But when you get to the point where you're no longer doing that, then that's when you are old, right? But y'all know my definition of old are things that we've already done, newer things that we have yet to discover, yet to go through. So no age forward is old, right? Because you haven't experienced that. That's new, right? I haven't been 50, but I've been 19 before. So 19 years old to me is an old age, right? Because I've been there before. So repeating that thing wouldn't make sense. But a new age would be 50 years old because I've never been there before, right? So for me, I look at old and new different, right? But young is a completely different. It's a spirit. It's a spirit of rejuvenation. It's a thought process. So there's young, there's old, and there's new. New is what we have yet to discover and go through and experience, right? Young is the way we feel through our experiences throughout life, right? And old is what we've already been through, right? So if you want to think on the highest level, and if you adapt this mindset as gospel moving forward or throughout life, it will change your entire paradigm, right? It will change everything for you. So take that. That's my gift to you, right? That's an original thought. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's bring someone in. And a breakdown of that will be in my new book that I'm coming out with soon. How many of y'all want me to put together a new book? If you got the last book, press one. But I got a new book coming out soon. I look forward to it. Really, I realize that there's a lot of literature I need to put out there. I can't sit and have conversations with everybody. I heard Big Boy say that, so he said that's why I put it in the book. These high level conversations really need to be in a physical copy that everybody has at home. Um, we need to be able to have something that you can go back to, and whether it's on society, whether it's on religion, whether it's on spirituality, whether it's on relationships, whether it's on time, whatever, I'm going to give you my thoughts, and if you believe that these are the highest level of thoughts, then you can follow along with it, and that can assist you. All right, let's see what we got here. On my 25 and younger crowd.
Peace, brother.
What's going on with you, good brother?
Hey, man, I just want to tell you, bro, that you are a phenomenal brother. Stuff that you're doing is so amazing. Because I want to let some other people get in there. I think, on another note, she was touching on high level literature. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's dope, and we want to support that all the way from Chicago. But I want you to touch on the AI, man. Every person I know that's a colleague of mine, all chat GPT, this and AI, this. And I think it's definitely a time that our people could jump ahead of this and really
Actually,
use
can
it
you
to
turn
go to
the
the next
air
level.
down?
So I would like to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, man, that's a great question. I'm working on something called Future Proof right now with some colleagues of mine, because AI, I've been speaking on this subject for probably about 4 or 5 years now, on the internet, right? As I've been teaching about it. And, before it was a cautionary tale of what's to come. Now it's about what's here, right? And what to do now that it's here. So we at this point where, things like ChatGPT, I have a full-time coder and an AI developer on my team, so that we can be ahead in how to utilize it within our business, right? And if are a business person, you should automatically think, and especially during times of recession, how do I replace some of these systems that I have in place, and how do I make it more efficient? AI won't replace your job. A person using AI will, right? That's the running quote that's going around the internet. And I believe that because a lot of people, will become useless, right? And it's not that they can't adapt, it's that they won't adapt, right? Human beings are very resilient. We can adapt to anything, but when an AI can speak, when an AI can write, when an AI can think, right? And it takes all of the jobs, robots. What the hell? Everything on your resume. If I can look at your resume and say, well, can an AI do your resume better? Then why would I hire you? So your skill sets have to be managerial. Your skill sets have to be engineering and designing, and it has to be skill sets that are geared towards the future world of where we are, right? So I want people to really think about understanding AI. There's a site that I partner with called AI.warehouse, to where we constantly update it with all of the new AI platforms and technology. And it's not that I'm I love technology, But it's not that I'm some super proponent towards AI, because for me, AI is going to do good and it's going to do bad. But it's like the internet. It's really no reason to being against it because we all go use it. So with AI,
Absolutely.
it's going to be in your life. So you might as well learn how to master it.
And the one thing I want to say is when I came into the knowledge just hearing from you and different people, I look at it as an opportunity for our community to take that and pull ahead. When you got the advents of these, like I know you was talking about the fourth industrial revolution, we can use this as a community to pull ahead and above and beyond with our talents and conquer as long as we get in the right mindset. And that's why I want to applaud you for, brother, because I'm gonna be honest. I love things that could give us to level the playing field because we've been behind so long in the eyes of the community and stuff. We put our stuff together and we try to make it happen. But I hate that we look at it as all because we don't understand and we're not aware. So I would love for you to talk about that more. I wanted to get some other questions in, but peace to you, Ken.
Yeah, peace to you. Yes, sir.
I love, bro.
Peace, God. All right.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we got going on.
Yo,
Peace, peace, peace. What's happening with you? Where your lights at, man? I can't see
so
you.
can you see me? I don't know. Hold up. Yo, what's going on? But oh shit. All right, there we go. Getting my lights pretty low. I just want to say it's an honor, bro. And can you touch on taking action? I feel like I've had like a little bit of a blockage on taking creative action um towards my goals and stuff.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, good.
I'll be 18 in April.
Okay, good. So it's
I'm a
good that you
Taurus.
even thinking about it already. You know, I would say when it comes to action, when it comes to goals, don't make goals, make habits. You know, like
I like
goals
that.
are like these posts where you waiting to be excited and you waiting to be happy and you waiting to do something and appreciate life. But if you
Mm,
make habits, right, then you enjoying the process of getting it done, right? So it's not
yeah,
about arriving to this destination. It's more so about the road trip. You know, it's
feel
about
you.
everything that you do leading up to it versus getting to this point. Because what they found that if when you create a goal, you're not happy until you meet that goal, and then once you meet that goal, the stimulation is really taken out of it, right? So they found that it's better to think about the journey and reward yourself along the way. So for me, it's
Yeah,
like I don't. People ask me all the time, what's your 10-year goal? It's like, no, I want to know what's my 10-year habits. If I want to go to the gym on a daily, I need to develop the habits of somebody who power lifts or somebody go to the gym daily. Like, what do they watch? What do they eat? You know what I'm saying? How do they stretch? How do they warm up? How do they work out? Like, those are the habits that I want to form, because if I form those habits, then I will get those goals regardless. Like, those goals come with it. You know what I'm saying? Goals are the side effects of good habits. So when it
yeah,
comes to taking action, right, you don't think about the end in mind. You think about the process in mind, right? So focus on becoming the person that can produce the outcome versus focusing on the outcome, because sometimes you never become that person. You know what I mean? So it don't matter what you have or what you do, just focus on the outcome.
thank you. Thank you. I love that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I appreciate you tapping in. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring somebody else up real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody get a chance. Feel me?
Yes, sir. All right, peace out, bro.
All right.
All right, let's see what we got going on. What's going on?
That's my eat your damn food.
Yo, peace, peace, peace. I know y'all eating over there. That's okay. What's going on? Oh no, they munching and crunching right now. Miss Super B
Move.
21.
This is your plate.
I bet it is.
Eat the food.
Man, they over there eating good. I ain't even gonna interrupt that dinner right there. Plate was probably fire. What y'all think they was eating? All right, let's see. No, the play was good. She ain't paying attention to the live she got on. All right. Shoot, I got a lot of requests now. All right. I'm not sure if they allowing me to accept y'all requests now. They hating. Damn Instagram. But bro had a good question because I feel like this is probably the question he asked is probably one of the most important for I think this generation. What's going on with you?
19 kids. Oh,
What's happening?
I'm at the work class right now. I had to step into the bathroom.
No, it's all
But
good.
I'm 21. I turned 21 in March, and I have a question. What advice do you have about young people my age group trying to figure out like their place in the world, and how do we get over like procrastination?
See, your question is essentially similar to the same one as bro yesterday. I mean earlier, just before you. And I think that this is probably gonna come up a lot because I believe that your generation is more based on feelings than logic. You know, if you join the military, they'll give you orders, and whether you like the orders or not, you have to follow those orders. And what it does is it develops discipline and it develops work ethic, right? So, you know, this where we at right now, everybody is in their feelings. They don't feel like doing things, yet they have these goals. And if the feelings don't match those goals, then they won't do it. Well, I didn't feel like doing it Tuesday, but I might do it Friday. No, that's not the way good work ethic works. That's not the way taking control of yourself works. You know, it's about discipline. And so that discipline says that even when I don't want to do it, I'm going to do it like I want to, right? That's a completely different mindset shift and or change, right? And so the only true way to beat procrastination is to just do it. And so when we procrastinate, it's because a feeling of pain spikes in our brain when we associate it with work, right? But if we're used to the process and we're used to doing work, any idea that we get, we'll do it in the now, not the later, right? So when we make plans later and we do too much later, then we do nothing now, and later never comes, right? And so the grit definitely has to be there, the emotional resilience, right? That ability to be able to shut off your feelings and say, I don't care if I don't feel like doing it, I'm going to do it because it's attached to my vision. Vision gives you pull, it takes you into a direction, right? It says that, okay, you might want to sit down right now, but if you do, you don't get this thing, right? The vision should be at the forefront of your mind because the vision should be constantly pulling you to bring that into reality. So let's say if you got money and or you want money, right? And you got a vision and you can see yourself, spending that money on something or spending that or you can envision yourself in this new apartment or this new job or taking yourself on a trip. That vision should be in your head as you work. So you're constantly pulling forth that vision into reality on a daily basis. And what I like to do is also write things on a step by step. This to me is something I teach because I have a mentorship program as well, right? Where, you know, there should be nobody in this room that can't get something done if they follow this. So whatever you want to get done, what is your first step of doing it, right? So the distance between what you don't know and what you know, is your ignorance, right? So, but we have, let's say, AI tools, Google, YouTube, mentorships, consultation, coaching, memberships, where it says that, okay, I want to figure out what is the next 10 steps that I need to do in order to get this goal accomplished. So we write down step one because everybody should know at least step one, right? Step one should be writing down the goals. Now, if you get to a point where you can't write down the step, you say, okay, well, that's where I need to educate myself. So the next step, every time you reach a gap, is always learning. So that means that if you follow this template, you write down the steps, you execute, and when you don't know what to do, you learn. And then when you do know what to do, you write down those steps and you execute. And you keep doing that repetitiously, right? And by writing it down, it creates accountability, right? For you to scratch it out. And it gives you a sense of accomplishment as well. So there should be nobody that doesn't know what the next step to do is. It's always learn, right? And then once you know, it's always to do. So for me, that's a simplified way of just thinking about life. Like there's something I want to do. I write down the steps. When I don't know what to do, I'll learn. And then once I learn, I will execute, right? And then that's life. And I believe you can take that small bit of, advice, and that should be able to get you through life on anything that you want to do. It's the simplest, but the most pragmatic and practical advice that I can give.
Okay. And for the people out there that's, because I struggle with, I'm trying to stop smoking weed, and I realize the effect it has on my brain, but it's like we operate on autopilot so much, it's like you forget about the
You breaking up a bit. I can't hear you.
You know. Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
I was just asking for advice on like how to stop smoking weed too, like to break that habit, because I'm a ganja smoker.
Yeah. So the weed thing. Hey, people, everybody who smoke weed. I used to smoke weed. I used to sell weed. I was really good at selling weed, actually. That's when I was the first reason I had 2 phones. I was a good weed man. And I remember I stopped smoking weed because I felt like I got as high as I can possibly get, and I don't want weed to be a gateway drug. So I was like, it got to a point where I was like, what's the point, right? A lot of people say weed makes them more creative, but the reality of it is that weed doesn't make you creative. It just makes you feel creative while you high. That's scientifically proven, right? Weed also gives you an imbalance. So, I would say with a lot of people, you have to fast, and you should write down your reason why you want to stop smoking. If you don't have a reason why, you're probably not going to do it in the first place because your reason not big enough, right? Because most people are addicted, and addictions to anything are very hard to, get over. So I don't take this lightly at all. But once you get rid of one thing, you have to replace it with another. So you get rid of something what you consider to be negative, then replace it with something positive, right? So some people stop smoking weed and maybe they start working out, right? Or maybe they go vegan, or they whatever it may be. Some people, I don't suggest this, but a lot of people started vaping when they start getting rid of cigarettes. So I wouldn't say, take those out because those are 2 negatives. But find something to replace. There's a bush that you can actually smoke in replace of weed. It don't get you high, right? But it actually cleanses your lungs. If anybody knows it in here while I'm talking, I've smoked it before, and you can drink it in a tea. I think it's good. But I would really focus on a fast, right? A fast is very important, whether it's a food fast, but it's to strengthen your discipline and your resolve. And so a fast, yeah, mulling. So we're actually going to start having mulling on the Goldwater site. So y'all look out for that. But if you go through a fast, it will strengthen your discipline in all the areas of things that you don't need. During a fast, you feel very good. 3 days of fasting, you can regenerate your immune system, right? But fasting allows you to test yourself and see your weak areas and strengthen those weak areas. And once you're off it, you can feel what your body is like without it. And when you're fasting, especially like from food, you realize that, damn, I'm addicted to so many other things, right? Because we can be addicted to sugar, we can be addicted to dairy, right? So you have to go through a fast in order to strengthen that discipline, in order to strengthen that will, right? And then give yourself something else you're addicted to. Then give yourself something that you're going to spend that money on that you normally would have spent on weed. Didn't give yourself something you're gonna spend that time on, you would have spent smoking. So now when you're replacing that, you're saying that actually this is better, right? Because now you feel rewarded for making these changes throughout life. Like, damn, I would have spent this money on this. Instead, I bought this book or I bought this course. This wasn't possible if I didn't smoke weed, or now I get to go on this trip, right? And so another thing, and the last thing I would say on this topic is changing the environment. You can't hang around people with the habits that you want to change, right? If those people will bring you right back, because most people smoke because it's a social. We smoke just because it's past the time. How many people will ask you if you want to smoke throughout the day? Like, that's crazy to me, right? So it's very hard because a lot of people are addicted, yet a lot of people are always, pressuring them to smoke and offering them their addiction. All right. So, it's not the same with cigarettes anymore, but it's like that with weed now. And also, I would say try gold water. Now, this is not no guarantee with gold water, right? But a lot of people have talked about the ability for gold water to help them curb their addictions. Gold water was used, colloidal gold was used in the UK to help get away from alcoholism addiction, right? And the reason I think it works well is because it electrifies your body. You understand me? So where you can have more control over your will in a holistic manner. So a lot of people have tried gold water and they've been able to quit a lot of the abusive substances that they've been taking because they no longer feel that need to. So thank you, and I appreciate you about that.
All right, Tiki, that's all the questions I have. I'm gonna let somebody else. I appreciate the knowledge though. That's real.
All right, now, thank you. All right, where the rest of my youth at, man? I see. Oh man, I got like 50 requests up here. Let's see. Let's see. Come on, where my 25 and younger crowd? Let me see if I can see some young folks up here. Let's see. I don't know what young look like anymore because some of y'all young people be looking. I think I'm see if I can tell by the names. It's hard to tell, man. It's hard to tell. All right. Let me go ahead and accept one. I'm looking. Listen, I'm trying to talk to the leaders of the next generation. What's going on, man? You look like, how old are you, man?
I'm 27.
Oh, you just missed the boat, but go ahead, man.
What's going on, man? I just logged, man. It's this guy right here.
Yes,
real.
sir.
What's going on? I just logged in, though. I see you live, man. I always check in, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you tapping in.
Yes, sir. Well, what was the? I supposed to ask you a question.
Yeah. Preferably, talking to the younger generation. You know what I'm saying? Getting questions and advice out.
Okay, for the younger generation, I have a I'm in the process of starting my own movement and everything, and just spreading awareness of self as you doing, and where I see where the gap is in our generation or whatever is following, everybody not being they true they self, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll take this as a form of questioning because one of the things that I said earlier as a word of advice is be the leader of the pack. That's the unfortunate thing is most people are followers. We're trained to be followers, right? And there's nothing wrong with following good leadership. I want that to be very clear. There's nothing wrong with following good leadership, but even a good follower needs to learn how to be a good leader, right? Because then you may have people following you. And so it's very important to focus on developing leadership qualities, right? And the leader is one who is always working to serve others, right? And not always waiting to be served, right?
As the giver, right? The giver. Okay.
Right, because if you're the leader, then you have more than others. You have more on your plate. You have more in your cup. So you have more to be able to give away. So, and at the same time, you focus on gratitude. You understand me?
But how to give to the young people and what they should be looking up to? Because me coming up, I never had no one to look up to.
Right, well, ask yourself, what do you want to become? Like there's many reasons to look up to different people. You can have mentors in many different areas, right? So one person may say, well, who is your mentor when it comes to wealth? Go look at the wealthiest people, the person you can find, and if they have some knowledge on that, develop a discipline to become like them. And if you put your mind to it to say, well, when it comes to money, they wouldn't do this, so I'm not going to do this. So you can start getting the results that they get. Don't think like yourself. Think like the person that you look up to in that regard. That person can be your mentor when it comes to wealth. Another person can be your mentor when it comes to relationships. You know what? And I don't really like making other people my relationship goals, nothing of that nature. But if you find something that you feel like is a great goal to accomplish, develop the discipline, meaning become a disciple of that person, learn their ways and be like them until you develop your own ways so you can be like yourself. And so finding a mentor is actually not hard, but you have to pick your mentors, right? And then become a disciple of them, so that you can get the results that they get. So I think to me, that is the key that many people can't follow and that will allow them to be able to find success, especially when they don't know. But I appreciate you tapping in, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the 25 and underside. You came on the 25 and upside.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's good, brother. All right, let's see what we got, man. Let me see. Let's see who we got. Looking at my request. Alrighty. Now, don't be lying about your age. I don't know how to tell anymore, who's young, because some people be looking old. So I ain't gonna say you're not 25, but I'm gonna speculate.
Hello.
What's going on with you?
Hi.
Man, blessings and opportunities.
Blessings, yes. So I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so, I'm 23 and I'm evolving, right? So I know it's kind of hard when you're evolving and people start to leave, right? So what would you suggest about like people leaving out of your life, even though it hurts? Like, how do you go through that?
That's a beautiful question. You have to let them, right? You have to let them
Mm-hmm.
go, and then you have to learn how to let them go, right?
Okay.
And I think that
Mm-hmm.
that's necessary because, holding on to anything that if it leaves grows you, it stunts your own growth, right? And so it's all a part of the process, the way I look at it. Like if somebody wants to be extremely successful, there's going to be so many people who can't come on that journey, right? And sometimes we ask for things we're not ready for, right? So we say that I want to be extremely successful, and then you realize I have to leave most of the people that I'm with right now behind because they don't want what I want so they're not going where I'm going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's okay because that's the process of growth, right? And so you have to really
Mm-hmm.
think about what is my process of growth. When you want more for yourself and somebody's not treating you right, then guess what you have to do? You got to let them go. Why? Because you want more for yourself. You love yourself. You want to be treated a certain way. If you have a group of friends and you feel like they're not stimulating you in the area intellectually, let's say we always talk about gossip, rumors, and nothingness, right? So you say, man, I wish I could have better conversations. So guess what you would have to do? Find a new group of friends. So it's like if you ask for one thing, be careful because you might get what you receive, but you don't know what comes along with it. Right. And so growth always comes along with the phase of cutting things out, cutting people, places, content, like becoming that person that you see for yourself in your mind requires you to let go of the person that you are right now, which also requires you to let go of people that are with you right now because they're with the person that you are right now, not the person you want to be.
Okay. Yeah, because I know it's hard to let go of people, and especially when you're like going through a new phase in your life. I know it's hard, but yeah, that was yeah.
When you just have to remember when you let go of some people, you're making room for other
Mm-hmm.
people, right? And so it's not a
Mm-hmm.
space that's going to remain empty. It's a space that's going to be fulfilled with stuff that you actually need, not just what you have, right? So you definitely have to
Okay.
learn that
Mm-hmm.
shedding process because that's how you grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right
Okay,
now.
thank
No
you.
problem. I gotta let you go
Bye.
now.
Bye.
All right. Bombowski. Man, and these are important. That's why I want to talk to the young generation, man. People need advice out here, man. You just go through life trying to wing it and figure it out, man. The odds are stacked against us. So when you see people out there doing a lot of weird stuff, and you look at the generation, be like, man, they weird, this, that, and the third. Like, weird just means you don't understand them, and they probably don't understand themselves. What's going on? You are live, JC. What's going on, bro? I can't hear you.
What's up, 19 Keys?
What's going on, man? How old are you, man?
21.
21. All right, all right. What's the word, man? What question you got for me today?
I'm trying to sell my art. I really need some help. You should like take a look at my page. I'm an artist down here in North Carolina. I'm from Raleigh, but I live in Clayton. So
all right, let me take a look at your art, man. Y'all go to his page, rate his art from 1 to 10.
Y'all come take a look at what I got.
Y'all go check it out. Rate the art 1 to 10. You definitely should have came with some art behind you so we could see it, because that's one way to help you sell it. Because I got you in front of 500 customers right now, potential. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, I got my highlights too. Y'all check out my little freestyle.
Oh, now you out here. You go freestyle for us?
Not right now. Y'all can check out.
Oh man, come on, man. Come on, we don't do that. You go freestyle for us, because what you really need is confidence. That's all. I don't even see no art on your page. Oh, I see a little bit. Nah, I would say hone in on your skills a little bit before you try to sell some art, man. Just keep developing your skills. Look, I'm serious. I would say, focus on some Adobe, you know what I mean? Learn them programs. Yeah. You become a 3D artist. Matter of fact, go on Midjourney or something. Just type it in. You feel me? Use AI. But yeah, you young enough to keep figuring this out, man. I don't know if that's your calling yet, but I think some of what you got is dope. You feel me? But develop your skill set. Put them 10,000 hours in. You know why though? Seriously. The art ain't really it, right? The art is what people buy art is because they connected to a feeling. You understand me? That's how we sell art, right? Like, and then at the same time, we sell art when the person that creates it respects it, right? And how do we know you respect it? Like, you take it and you package it up and you build a brand around it. Now that art looks different versus it's just a post on Instagram, right? So now you telling people, listen, this is like, I don't believe in creating regular brands. Everybody should create luxury brands, especially a brand like art is supposed to be a luxury brand. That means that there should be certificates that come with it. That means that it should be you should have it in a frame. It should be glassed up, right? That means that you should have it printed out. Like everything that comes along with it, you should have a paragraph of what it's about. Go study the art world, right? You don't have to do what they do, but if you study the way that they built, great art to become great, you can add this into everything that you do, whether you want to be an artist, whether you want to do football, whether you want to generate content or write a book, whatever the hell it may be. You have to do everything like a master, right? Because otherwise nobody is going to care about what you do unless you care about what you do. And the only way that they're going to know is if you do it at the highest level. Whatever you do, always do it at the highest level. My father told me, even if you're a janitor, you should mop that floor in a way where they think you're a genius. They can tell that you take your craft serious, because a person that has that great masterful, work ethic, they will develop that in every other area of everything that they touch. Right. So your art is a reflection of you. So if I can tell you taking it serious, I'll take it serious. Then it becomes valuable to me as well. And everything you should create should have a meaning and a story behind it. So therefore I can connect to it.
Okay.
But I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Dude, funny. Because I'm an artist. You know, I do real art. You feel me? Like I paint, I design. You know, everything I design this, I design this. You feel me? Everything I do, I design. Oh, I think I gotta go soon. Hold up. Let me double check, man. I got a movie premiere to go to. Yeah, I got a movie premiere to go to, y'all. I gotta take one more question. Look, I'm being bougie, y'all. I'm being bougie. Y'all know, man. I'm out of LA. Y'all excuse the bouginess, man. I ain't trying to slice flex. I'm just, 19 keys. I done built myself up. I'm working, you know. Just trying to inspire. That's all. So let me see what we got. Let's see. Let's see. That's a good question, though, man. I'm gonna do this a lot more. I'm gonna do a high level with some young children, man. What's going on? Oh man, you
What's
gotta
up?
be 35. What's going on? How old are you, brother?
I'm 22.
Okay, you sure? That beard look like it's connecting, man. I know he 22. He just ate the vegetables. All right,
I
so
just,
what's the word, man?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I didn't even remember. I asked to request to join. Huh? I look up to you a lot, and I don't know. I'm 22. I got an 8-month-old daughter. Um, I live in Costa Rica. I have a juice business, a cafe. That
You
but
know, first of all, congratulations to your 8th month old. Costa Rica sound like a nice spot. Juice business sound like a healthy business. You know what I mean? So I applaud all of that. Um, what I will say, and for everybody who's sitting and listening, one of the worst things that you can say is I don't know. Right. So I think from a communication standpoint, it's better to pause and think, right? To say, you know what, let me gather my thoughts, right? And then what you can always do just on the level of communication is, throw a question back at the person, like, all right, what type of questions you think, somebody at 21 like me should have. I have a man of business, right? Like, so I'm a man of business. I built a family business. I imagine you building a family business. So your questions could be about, specifically customized to a person like yourself that's a young father that wants to do business. What are some of the challenges that you may face, moving forward? So when you take time to think, you start really thinking about your circumstances and what you want for yourself, and then questions arise from there. But what I've learned, and nobody should say this in all their days, is I don't know, right? Because what it automatically assumes is that you know nothing at all, right? And so it's not that you don't know anything, it's just in this moment, right? Your brain may caught a gap. And so the filler should be like, you know what, give me a second, let me gather myself. The fillers have been like, let me think about that for a second. I wasn't prepared, right? That's a great introduction, right? So I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to everybody else that's listening, because everybody doesn't have great communication skills. And so you, a man that's in business, right, speaking to your customers and being able to speak to them, because if they ever ask you, what's this ingredient in the juice, and you say, I don't know, and they say, I don't want to buy, right? So instead, even if you don't know in that moment, you say, you know what, thank you, that's a good question. Always lead with, that's a very good question. It's a reassurance, and it helps you gather your thought as well, right? As you're pondering what your answer is. Right now, the only time that is a good time to, say I don't know something is really you really don't know an answer, and you don't want to seem like you're smart, because it's better to say I don't know than to be a fool. But when it comes to something like, an introduction, you know, we just stop and we gather ourselves and then we speak. That's a very powerful key. What's the name of your juice business?
be like Wata, roots and alchemy.
Okay, so you was influenced by Bruce Lee heavy.
Yeah, and then it's like Wata, WATAH, like how my dad says it.
But it's a juice
'Cause,
company, but it's be like water.
yeah,
Okay. So do y'all sell water too?
we don't sell what we're planning on getting, like on selling alkaline water or just providing it for free. But that was actually the original business model, was the alkaline water service, and then
like a product, like a juice to sell in the store. And now we actually have like a beachfront location where we sell smoothie bowls, smoothies, cold pressed juices, all that type of stuff.
Man, that's what's up, brother. First of all, congratulations on the family business. You are a young father, and I applaud you for being a entrepreneur. At the same time, there's a lot of young fathers out there, and I was, let me ask you a question. What do you live for?
Um, I live for my daughter, for my family, for my legacy, for God, for my moms, for my dad, and everyone that came before them. Really,
Mm.
that's how I feel.
I want you to pick I think we have, and those are very great answers, right? There's no wrong answer with this. But I was talking to my younger brother, and his answer was similar to the same, right? He's on the island right now. Actually, y'all actually look alike, similar, right? That's my light skinned twin. Um, but I was saying, oftentimes, and when we say what do we live for me, I believe it should always be, a mission. It should always be a vision. It should always be a higher purpose, right? And you have many things to live for, right? You got your business, you have your family, right? God, right? But being very specific is key because it gives your life more purpose, right? When you can really write down a mission statement for your life, right? That means that if you live that, everybody else benefit, right? So whether it's your daughter, whether it's your baby mother or your wife, or whether it's your father and your family, when you be yourself at the highest level, because for me, I live to present my highest level of potential to the world, right? I live to spread the gospel of 19 keys to the world and to bring out my mission of everything that I am to the world, right? And I don't have children yet, but when you have children, your children, are going to benefit from seeing you live out your highest purpose, right? Your children don't benefit from seeing you live for them. They benefit from seeing you live your highest purpose because now you are leaving something for them, and then they get to add on to that as well. And so when we have children and we have family, we have general answers that we give to the public because these seem like these like interview answers almost, right? These are the best answers to give. But in reality, we should start thinking about customizing, right, our relationship with ourselves in life in a sense of, you know what? I live for my mission, right? And everybody benefits if I live for my mission because a man that lives at his edge, right, makes the world happy. Everybody respects a man that lives at his edge, whether he got one child or 30 children. If he's living for his mission and his edge, that man will be remembered and respected and create a legacy. So I just wanted to speak that thought process out loud because I'm speaking to everybody at the same time.
I
Yes, sir.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. Man, y'all
Uh,
have a good time. If I ever come to Costa Rica, you understand me? I'm gonna lock in, come grab a juice and everything because I plan on doing the island tour.
Definitely.
Yeah. Y'all be blessed, man.
All right. Peace, God.
Peace. Peace, God. Yeah, so I'm glad that he had that last he was the last person because I believe that and I got 50 people on the request right now because I think it's important to get that message out there more. Is to really find a mission for yourself for our life, you know. And that mission can change. And that's one thing I want you to know is you have permission to change your mission, right? So, it's okay that, this thing that you wrote down at 19 is not what you want to do at 30, right? The thing that you wrote down at 10 is not what you want to do at 21, right? It's okay to change it because perspective and experiences makes us change. And I want to say this out to every one of you all, and I want you to hear this one very clearly. Sometimes your dream can be connected to your weakness. So you have to be careful because you want to customize your mission to your strengths. I want y'all to understand that very well. Sometimes your dream can be connected to your weakness, right? So sometimes you have to customize, right, your mission to your strengths. So when you don't really know yourself, you can have a goal and a dream, and the reason that it can be so hard for you and it look good on somebody else because that's their strength, but it could be your weakness. So when you learn yourself and you learn your strengths, then you customize your dream towards your strengths. You know, the biggest example I can give is a lot of people want to be rappers because you've seen that dream and what it looks like when somebody else wears it. But that may be your weakness. So when you go and try to do it, it's 1,000 times harder, and you feel bad about yourself because you can't accomplish what that person did. Or you may want to be a content influencer or creator, but you're not good at public speaking. That may be your weakness, but your strength may be behind the camera. It may be being visionary. It may be managing the situation. So you have to learn what your strengths are, right? When you are thinking about your dream. And unfortunately, school is not set up to help you master your strengths and bring that out of you, because everybody's strengths and their gifts, skills, and talents is their genius. So when you focus on customization, right, and you learn yourself, now you set yourself up for success, because now you're building your life around your strengths and your skills and your talents and your gifts. And you feel better about it because not only are you good at it, and when you're good at something, it makes you feel good doing it. Right. So then it makes you feel fulfilled, which makes you feel purposeful. So now you're living a life that's worthy. So when you focus on building out those strengths, it creates the habit of building a life that makes you feel good by executing. And you can do that in your sleep. So, I appreciate y'all. That's something that I teach my students actively in the BWO during, in their membership. I give free sessions. And one of the things we talked about was customization, learning how to customize self and really find your strengths and your skills. And that's very important. I appreciate y'all locking in. We have a lot. Everybody that's here should text that number. So when I put out these challenges and these opportunities to join in what we got going on, you can be there to help flourish your life. We're going to do a lot of stuff for free always. And I just want you all to improve. I really want to see everybody grow to your highest level, not to my standards, not to parents, not to world. None of that matters. I want to see everybody grow to your highest level. And you have to learn yourself into order to understand what that highest level look like. So focus on your strengths and build your dream around it. All right. Peace, family. I'm 19 Keys. If you want to know more, and if you want to read my book, go to crowns19.com. Click the link in the bio or click the tag that's on my page. Go to the Crown Society IG. And yeah, get the book. We got new books coming out, but and beyond that, go watch High Level Conversations. We got a new one coming this Saturday. Love y'all. Peace. At night? Yeah, let me check this. Let me make sure.
Send me yours too. Let me check my guys.
We got different flights? Huh?
We shouldn't. I'm gonna go check. Y'all look for you to
You have to send a flight, baby. I gotta check that. Oh. Even if they were to call by here, we send you a bed appointment. Tomorrow. That's good. There's one problems on the shoulder for you on that thing. You know, plane always makes everything worse because you get stiff. How much I love, how much I feel. I don't even know what song I was thinking of. It's like an old school song. I'm about to have to grab a plate to go. Reggie said we gotta leave immediately. I've been getting this inspiration to really talk to the youth. So I really want to focus on, you know what I'm saying? Nothing but the younger generation from now on. So, a lot of them follow me. Yeah, that should be matched. What's the word, Chieftain?
Ready like spaghetti?
Not spaghetti. I'm ready like ravioli.
Are you ready up?
Yeah.
I got a car outside.
Oh, okay. I know, because I didn't want to eat in front of the people's face, but the food was looking good as hell, though. Yeah, but I didn't want to eat in front of them like that.
Yo, kids, turn your YouTube live off.
My YouTube live? Y'all still over here listening to Big Keys? Let me go ahead and cut that off. Y'all know we be talking wholesome in here anyway. I could have been talking crazy. I could have been here talking crazy. Look at y'all still in here. Boy, y'all is nosy.